I think the best way I think I want to start this video is to congratulate Liverpool. I mean, that was that was such a huge statement win in the Premier League against a team that has obviously, been the defending champions for the last, what, 3 years now? But obviously, Pep Guardiola's side, they've been absolutely amazing. They are still, I consider, the A standard of the Premier League, but Liverpool, the personnel, the atmosphere at Anfield, everything is just one step higher. The game was what we expected it to be, very riveting, maybe not as competitive as we thought because Fabinho's beautiful strike and then Mo Salah getting a goal off of what was a beautiful combination between two of the best fullbacks in the world, and Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andy Robertson linking up so well to essentially make Mo Salah's header as easy as possible. He could have headed him in with his chest if he really wanted to, but the biggest question I still have, and it's I had to look extensively at it, was would you consider a handball on either one of the situations where we thought that there was a handball call? Now, obviously, the first one from Trent Alexander-Arnold happened very early on. It was a run in the middle, get into the box, and then a cutting move from Bernardo Silva. He hit his own, deflection off of Van Dijk, then off of his own arm into the path of Trent Alexander-Arnold. VAR reviewed it. This actually was what preceded the goal from Liverpool, the first goal from Liverpool from Fabinho. So, yeah, we're going to hold on to that one. We're going to hold on to that one because the second handball call, I have a very hard time with it as well, once again, because the arm was once again tucked. I thought it was more like a chicken wing, I guess, but I can't remember who it was. I think it was Dejan Lovren who was trying to get his arm out of the way. And so that one I don't really consider, but obviously Pep Guardiola was screaming and chanting the two penalties on the sideline, like it was some sort of justifiable reasoning for his Man City team losing. But guys, I actually do want to say, and I had to do my research on this, that the Trent Alexander-Arnold one technically is a penalty. Now, I know that in the build-up, if an attacking player's hand hits the ball, it would negate it. However, it just doesn't seem right because of the way that VAR has been used in the Premier League for it to be so hot and cold. I guess this is less a realization of a handball on Trent Alexander-Arnold, and it's more of a critique of VAR, because I remember witnessing similar situations for this against Manchester City in the early part of the season, against Brighton, and against Newcastle as well, and then as well against Tottenham's Moussa Sissoko, and they're all three of those situations, one of those situations had nearly the exact same thing, where a Brighton player, I think it was Pascal Gross, hit the ball off his own hand into the path of Raheem Sterling's arm, and it was called a penalty for Brighton. And now the other situations, I can't quite remember the one against Newcastle for Manchester City, but the Moussa Sissoko one, it was a really trash penalty, essentially. I mean, Moussa Sissoko's arm is tucked in as close as humanly possible, and it hits off his arm, even though it's tucked, and it was called a penalty. And Trent Alexander-Arnold in this situation, he also had his arm, so he had his arm kind of out, guys. He had his arm very far out, and so I have a bit of shtick with the way that VAR has been used to classify penalties and to classify the location part of the handball rule, whether it's like the trajectory or etc. I still don't understand it. I think the wording needs to be changed. I think the proximity stuff needs to be changed on the VAR rule, because technically, if that rule was correct, Trent Alexander-Arnold's handball would have been a penalty. However, personally, do I think it is? No, I think Liverpool were handily the better team in this game in the first place. I think even if it was given a penalty, I don't see how Liverpool would have ended up losing. I think Man City, Raheem Sterling woke up. I think Raheem Sterling woke up for them in about the final 7-8 minutes. Sorry, not 7-8 minutes, about the final 15-20, and he finally started rushing at Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Trent Alexander-Arnold could not handle him. But up to that point, preceding that point, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andy Robertson were two of the best players on the pitch by far. Their distribution, their cross-field passes, literally everything about their sort of facets of the game were unstoppable. And they were unstoppable. And it was actually, it was very enjoyable to watch. So I give full props to Liverpool for that. Do they deserve a 3-1 win? I think that's pretty valid. If not, 3-2 would have probably been more precise. Understat actually had the game at 2.8 to 2.2 in favor of Liverpool, so around 3-2 would have been the sort of expected goals metric that these two teams could have had. And if you guys don't know what expected goals are, I implore you to go watch Euro Football Daily. They are very, very concise and very practical about how to explain expected goals. You know, it's all based on chances, the types of chances that players get in the box, shot location, etc. So I really did think that Liverpool were the better side in this, and it was a built-up game that lives up to the hype. It makes me look. It kind of makes me sad now that the international break is on, because I want to see Chelsea Man City now. I want to see, I know we won't see it for a while, but a Liverpool-Leicester Part 2 or a Liverpool-United. Those are the games I want to see now, because I want to see if anyone's going to actually give Liverpool this test, or if it's just going to be a Liverpool wash straight to the title, because now Liverpool are 8 points ahead of the rest of the Premier League. That is Leicester, who are in second, Chelsea, who are in third, tied with Leicester on points, and Man City, who are still in fourth. I think only 2 points behind those two, so, or maybe even just 1 point behind those two, and then it's the rest of the Premier League. So very surprising to see sort of what the Premier League is like now at the second international break, but obviously we now got to take a focus on the last of the European qualifiers, the Euro 2020 qualification period, which is now near its end. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your guys' thoughts as well. I think I'm going to do a preview selection on the England squad selection team before we get into the Euro 2020's final legs or final group games of the qualification period, because obviously England have already qualified, so it kind of makes it a lot easier to digest. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and peace.